How to Think and Grow Rich. Introduction: The Power of Thought. Welcome to How to Think and Grow Rich. This is more than an audiobook, it's a guide to unlocking the extraordinary power of your own mind. More than 100 years ago, one of the world's richest men, Andrew Carnegie, whispered a challenge into the ear of a young reporter named Napoleon Hill. He said, "If you can find the common thread that runs through the lives of the world's most successful people, you will unlock the key to wealth, not just in money, but in life itself." Hill accepted the challenge, and what followed was a 25-year journey. He interviewed more than 500 of the world's greatest achievers: Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt, John D. Rockefeller, and he uncovered something remarkable. It wasn't luck. It wasn't genius. It wasn't even talent. It was thought. Yes, thought. Not passive daydreaming, but definite, directed, and disciplined thinking. The kind of thought that turns desire into gold, fear into faith, and ideas into empires. This principle became the foundation for what would become one of the most influential success books of all time. Think and Grow Rich. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This one sentence became a rallying cry for millions. And today, in this modern interpretation, we will break it down, not just in theory, but in practical, usable form. But before we dive in, let's ask the question: what does it really mean to think and grow rich? To think means to take control of your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. To grow means to develop yourself, your character, your knowledge, and your habits. To become rich means to expand not just your bank account, but your value, your contribution, and your freedom. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not about chasing money blindly. This is about building a mind so strong, so focused, and so purpose-driven that wealth, in all its forms, becomes the natural outcome. This audiobook is divided into 12 powerful chapters. Each one explores a timeless principle that has helped people from every walk of life rise from obscurity to influence, from poverty to prosperity. We'll talk mindset, money, action, fear, desire, planning, and the subconscious forces that drive your results, whether you're aware of them or not. This is practical. This is psychological. And yes, this is philosophical. It's time to unlock the greatest asset you'll ever have, your own mind. And when you learn how to direct it with purpose, you'll never look at success the same way again. Now, hit the subscribe button and let's begin. Chapter 1: Desire, the starting point of all riches. Let's begin with a bold truth. Riches begin with desire. Not hope. Not a wish. But a pulsating, all-consuming, laser-focused burning desire. This is the first, and perhaps the most important, principle of thinking and growing rich. Napoleon Hill said, "The starting point of all achievement is desire." Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. It's easy to say you want to be wealthy. Most people do. But wanting isn't enough. To truly grow rich in any sense of the word, you must transform a casual want into a definite, consuming purpose, a goal so real and urgent, you can see it, taste it, breathe it. This kind of desire becomes your internal fire. It pulls you out of bed early. It pushes you to act even when you're tired. And it makes quitting impossible. So, how do you turn vague wants into a burning desire? Hill gave us a precise 6-step formula. And if you take this seriously, you'll notice a shift almost immediately. The 6 steps to turn desire into riches. 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Don't say, "I want more money." Be specific. Say, "I want $100,000 in annual income." Or, "I want $1 million in net worth." 2. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return. There is no such thing as something for nothing. What value will you create? What service will you offer? What problem will you solve? 3. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money. A dream without a deadline is just a wish. Set a clear time frame. Give your mind a target. 4. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to have it all figured out. Start now, even if you start small. 5. Write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for its acquisition, what you intend to give in return, and the plan by which you intend to achieve it. 6. Read your written statement aloud, twice daily. Once in the morning, once before bed. See it. Feel it. Believe it. Allow your subconscious mind to accept it as reality. This 6-step process isn't magical. It's mental programming. It turns a scattered desire into a defined mission. And once your mind accepts that mission, it starts working day and night, consciously and unconsciously, to bring it to life. Let's bring this to life with a real-world example. Imagine a young man named Jim Carrey. Yes, the world-famous actor and comedian. In the early 1990s, before he was famous, Jim was broke. He was living out of a van, struggling to land acting roles, and constantly facing rejection. But he had a burning desire to succeed, and he made it concrete. He wrote himself a check for $10 million, post-dated it for 5 years in the future, and carried it in his wallet. On that check he wrote, "For acting services rendered." He visualized receiving that check. He believed he would earn it. And he never stopped working toward it. 5 years later, in 1995, he was paid $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. That wasn't luck. That was desire, backed by belief, followed by action. Now it's your turn. Ask yourself, what do I truly desire? What am I willing to give in return? When will I achieve it? What's my plan? And am I willing to speak this into existence every single day? Start simple. Tonight, write down your statement. In the morning, read it out loud. Feel it. Picture it. And let it stir something deep inside you. Because when desire becomes your obsession, and when you act with persistence and belief, nothing can stop you. Chapter 2: Faith, Believing in the Invisible. If desire is the spark, then faith is the fuel. Faith is the unseen force that gives power to your goals. It is the belief that what you are pursuing is not only possible, it's inevitable. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence." Sounds mystical, doesn't it? But what Hill was really describing is something psychological and powerful. You act in alignment with what you believe. Every action you take, or don't take, is rooted in the level of belief you hold about your ability to succeed. Without faith, desire collapses. With faith, desire becomes a command to your subconscious mind. A message that says, "This is my reality. Now go to work." But here's the challenge. What if you don't have any faith in yourself? What if you've failed too many times? Been rejected? Or told you're not enough? This is where most people give up. But this is also where your transformation begins. Because faith, like a muscle, can be built. And the most powerful way to build it is through autosuggestion. What is autosuggestion? Autosuggestion is the act of feeding your subconscious mind with repeated instructions. You are constantly suggesting things to yourself, consciously or unconsciously. I'm terrible with money. I'll never succeed. I'm not smart enough. These are negative autosuggestions, and they shape your beliefs and behaviors. But here's the breakthrough. You can reverse it. You can train your mind to believe in success, abundance, and strength. And it all starts with intentional repetition. Every morning and every night. Speak your desire into existence. Use the statement you created in Chapter 1, the one with the specific amount, time frame, and plan. Repeat it aloud. But here's the key. Don't just say the words, feel them. Imagine already living the life you're building. See yourself receiving that income, signing that deal, building that business. Speak with certainty, not with doubt. Why? Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined. It only knows what it hears most often, especially when charged with emotion. Now, if you're starting from a place of low self-belief, that's okay. You don't need to feel confident to begin. You just need to begin. Start by telling yourself, I am capable of wealth. My ideas are valuable. I am becoming the kind of person who attracts success. It might feel fake at first, but repetition breeds belief. And belief shapes behavior. And behavior produces results. Soon, you'll begin to act differently. You'll take more initiative. You'll make bolder decisions. And you'll attract opportunities you once thought were out of reach. That's the power of faith combined with action. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who believed he was destined to fail. He grew up in poverty, struggled in school, and was told he'd never amount to much. But every night he'd stand in front of a mirror and declare to himself, I am powerful. I am worthy. I am capable of wealth. He didn't believe it at first. But he kept going. Eventually, he got a job in sales. He was terrified. But he remembered his words, and repeated them before every call. Fast forward 10 years, he became a millionaire. Not because of luck, but because he reprogrammed his mind to believe, before he ever saw the results. His name? Les Brown. Today, he's one of the world's most renowned motivational speakers. Faith is not magic. It's a decision. A mental commitment to believe before you see. To act before you're ready. To speak success even while you struggle. So tonight, as you lie in bed, speak your affirmation. Let your subconscious hear the voice of your future self. And do it again tomorrow. Because what you believe, you become. Chapter 3, Autosuggestion, Programming the Mind for Wealth. Thoughts are things. But only when you plant them deep enough do they take root and grow. This is where autosuggestion comes in. A mental bridge between your conscious desires and your subconscious behavior. If desire is the spark, and faith is the fuel, then autosuggestion is the wiring that brings it all together. Napoleon Hill wrote, Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature. In simpler terms, you get to tell your brain what to believe. And what you repeat, day after day, becomes your internal programming. What is autosuggestion? Autosuggestion is the process of influencing your subconscious mind through repeated thoughts, affirmations, and mental images. Think of it like watering a seed. Each repetition is a drop. Each affirmation is sunlight. Eventually, belief takes root, and with it, action follows. Your subconscious mind doesn't argue. It doesn't reason. It simply accepts what it hears often and with emotion. So if you constantly say, I'm bad with money. I'll never succeed. People like me don't get rich. Then your subconscious mind will make that your reality. But if you say, I attract wealth easily. My financial future is in my control. Every day, I am growing richer in every way. And you say it with conviction, with repetition. Your subconscious mind starts working to make it happen. This is autosuggestion in action. Daily affirmations and mental conditioning. Let's get specific. Hill said you should read your wealth statement out loud twice daily. Once in the morning, once before bed. Why? Because these are the transition moments. When your mind is most suggestible. When the boundary between conscious and subconscious is thin. It's like dropping thoughts into fertile soil. But don't just say the words. Feel them. Visualize the end result. See the house. Feel the money in your hand. Hear the applause at your success. Make it real. This is mental conditioning. And just like physical conditioning, it takes daily reps. Crafting your personal wealth statement. Here's how to build your own autosuggestion script, a personal blueprint for your mind. Include 5 elements. 1. The exact amount of money you desire. Example. I will have $500,000 in savings. 2. The date by which you intend to achieve it. By December 31st, 3 years from now. 3. What you're willing to give or do in exchange. In return for building and scaling my marketing agency. 4. Your detailed plan of action. By acquiring 5 clients each quarter and delivering measurable ROI. 5. A confident affirmation of belief. I believe I will achieve this, and I see it clearly in my mind every day. Now read it aloud. Twice a day. Put it on a card. Carry it with you. Record yourself saying it, and play it in your car or while you exercise. Repetition is the mother of mastery. And autosuggestion is the language of the subconscious. Let's look at a powerful example. Consider Muhammad Ali. He didn't say, I might be the greatest. He said, I am the greatest. Long before the world believed it. He told himself until he did. His words shaped his mind. His mind shaped his performance. And his performance shaped his destiny. The same applies to you. It's time to stop letting old thoughts define you. Start speaking the version of you that you want to become. Want to be wealthy? Say it. Want to lead a company? Declare it. Want to be free? Picture it, every single day. This isn't fantasy. It's psychology. It's programming. It's transformation, by design. You are always affirming something. The only question is, are you affirming your fears, or your future? The choice is yours. Chapter 4. Specialized Knowledge, the Key to Personal Power. There are 2 kinds of knowledge. General and specialized. General knowledge is broad. It's what fills classrooms, textbooks, and trivia nights. It makes you well-rounded, but rarely wealthy. Specialized knowledge, on the other hand. That's where power lives. Napoleon Hill said, knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. In other words, it's not what you know. It's how you use what you know, with purpose, with focus, and with profit in mind. Think of it like this. A person who knows a little about everything might be interesting at parties. But the person who knows a lot about one thing and applies it in the marketplace becomes irreplaceable. Specialized knowledge is what makes a heart surgeon earn more than a general physician. It's what allows a niche business consultant to charge 5 figures per hour. It's why certain coders, copywriters, and creatives are booked out months in advance. In the age of information, focus is the new wealth. And here's a powerful truth. You don't need a college degree to get rich. In fact, some of the wealthiest individuals in history, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, never completed formal education in the traditional sense. But what they did do, relentlessly, was learn what mattered. They surrounded themselves with people who had the knowledge they lacked. They hired experts. They read. They observed. They learned with intention. Formal education will earn you a living. Self-education will earn you a fortune. So how do you find the specialized knowledge that leads to wealth? You don't start with books. You start with a question. What specific problem can I solve that people will pay for? That's your niche. Then ask, who is already succeeding in this area? What skills do they have? What results do they deliver? What tools do they use? Then go learn that. Buy courses. Read books. Work for someone for free if you have to. Take action while you learn. Because applied knowledge is the key to personal power. Let's look at an example. A young woman named Sarah didn't go to college. She worked in retail, barely scraping by. But she noticed something. She had a knack for finding and reselling vintage clothes online. So she leaned in. She studied e-commerce, branding, social media, and customer service. She didn't wait for permission. She applied everything she learned. Today, Sarah runs a 6-figure fashion business, out of her apartment. That's specialized knowledge in action. Here's the secret most people never hear. You don't have to know everything. You only need to know enough about the right thing, and apply it faster and better than most. You can learn how to buy real estate creatively, how to build a digital product and sell it globally, how to help businesses grow using ads, copywriting, or AI tools. The information is out there, but wealth comes to the one who acts on it. So right now, ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What market needs exist in that area? What skill could I master that others will pay for? Then commit to the learning. Every week. Every month. Get better. Sharper. Smarter. You are not stuck. You are one skill away from a breakthrough. You are one deep niche away from being in demand. Remember, general knowledge fills heads. Specialized knowledge fills bank accounts. Chapter 5. Imagination, the workshop of the mind. Every great fortune, every towering achievement, every breakthrough innovation started with an idea. And every idea was born in the same place. The imagination. Napoleon Hill calls it the workshop of the mind. A sacred space where dreams are forged into plans, and plans into riches. He wrote, "Man's only limitation, within reason, lies in his development and use of his imagination." In this chapter, we explore how imagination shapes wealth. Not as fantasy, but as strategy. 2 types of imagination, creative versus synthetic. Hill outlines 2 distinct types of imagination. 1. Synthetic imagination. This is when you rearrange existing ideas, concepts, or plans into something new. It's how most businesses are built, by improving, repackaging, or combining what already exists. Think Uber. It didn't invent taxis or smartphones. It simply combined both, and reimagined convenience. 2. Creative imagination. This is deeper. It's the intuitive spark, those sudden flashes of insight. It's the source of original inventions, art, and innovation. It often comes in silence, in solitude, or in moments of inspired tension. This is where true originality lives. It's not always predictable. But when it shows up, it changes everything. So how do we use imagination to create wealth? Start with this principle. Every solution people pay for was imagined first. You don't have to invent the next iPhone. But you do have to see opportunity where others see ordinary. And that takes imagination. Ask yourself, what annoys people that I could fix? What can I improve? What system is broken? What would make life easier, faster, cheaper, better? When you ask these questions regularly, your imagination begins to churn. You start to notice gaps. You begin to think like an innovator, like a creator, like a wealthy mind. Let's talk about Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. Coffee wasn't new. Cafes weren't new. But Schultz imagined bringing the Italian coffee house experience to America. Not just a drink, but a lifestyle. That was his creative spark. And today, Starbucks is a global empire. Or consider Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. She wasn't a fashion designer. She just wanted something to wear under white pants, so she cut the feet off her pantyhose. That simple act sparked a billion-dollar company. Both started with ordinary problems and used bold imagination to create extraordinary solutions. Here's your takeaway. You must give your imagination space to breathe. We live in a noisy world. Always scrolling. Always consuming. But imagination needs stillness. It needs you to pause, reflect, and wonder. What if? Why not? How could this be done differently? Keep a notebook. Write down weird ideas. Even bad ones. Because one bad idea leads to a good one. And one good idea, acted on with desire, faith, and knowledge, can change your life. Remember, imagination is your creative power. It's the builder of plans, the mother of wealth. Every skyscraper was once a sketch. Every million-dollar brand was once a doodle, a whisper, a dream. So give yourself permission to think big. To imagine more. To challenge the way things have always been done. Because if you can imagine it, and you combine it with desire, faith, and action, you can grow rich. Chapter 6: Organized Planning, Turning Ideas into Action. You've fueled your mind with desire. You've built faith. You've practiced autosuggestion. You've cultivated knowledge and used imagination. Now what? Now you act? Napoleon Hill makes it clear. A plan is useless without action. But action without a plan is chaos. This chapter is where your dreams stop being wishes and become structured blueprints for wealth. Let's break it down. Step 1. Create a definite plan of action. Riches do not respond to hope. They respond to clarity, decisiveness, and execution. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want? What specific steps must I take to get it? What is the timeline? Who do I need to involve? What resources do I need? Then write it down. A plan doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be specific and actionable. Let's say your goal is to earn $100,000 in the next 12 months. Break it down. What vehicle will you use? Business, job, product? How many sales or clients does that require? What marketing channels will you use? What daily and weekly tasks must be done? That is organized planning. Step 2. Embrace persistence and course correction. No plan survives the battlefield unchanged. And no journey to wealth is obstacle-free. So here's a powerful truth. The plan may fail. But you must not. Most people abandon their plan the first time it doesn't work. But successful people? They adapt, adjust, refine, and persist. Hill writes, temporary defeat should mean only one thing: the certain knowledge that there is something wrong with your plan. That's not failure. That's feedback. If your offer doesn't sell, tweak it. If your marketing flops, change it. If your timing is off, re-strategize. You're not being punished. You're being shaped. Step 3. Form a mastermind alliance. One of Hill's most powerful concepts is the mastermind. He defines it as a coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. Translation? Success is not a solo act. You need people who challenge your thinking, who complement your skills, who hold you accountable, who bring wisdom, strategy, or access you don't have. Great businesses are built by teams. Even solopreneurs have mentors, partners, or peer groups guiding them behind the scenes. Your mastermind might be a business partner, a coach or mentor, a weekly Zoom group, a small circle of like-minded friends with big goals. Surround yourself with people who stretch your vision, not shrink it. Let's look at an example. A man named James wanted to start an online consulting business. He had the knowledge, but no audience, no systems, and no plan. Instead of winging it, he did 3 things. 1. He defined exactly how much he wanted to earn by when. 2. He mapped out a 6-month plan: offers, pricing, marketing, and outreach. 3. He joined a mastermind of other consultants who shared their tactics, held him accountable, and pushed him forward. Result? $10,000 in his first month. Over $100,000 by the end of the year. Not magic. Just organized planning in motion. Your action steps. If you want to grow rich, do this today. 1. Define your goal clearly, exact numbers and deadlines. 2. Create a written plan, daily, weekly, monthly actions. 3. Identify obstacles and pre-solve them. 4. Find your mastermind, people who are also building. 5. Track your progress, and refine as needed. It doesn't need to be perfect. But it does need to be real. Because a vague goal with no plan is just a fantasy. But a clear goal with a living, breathing plan? That's the beginning of wealth. So remember, dreams are imagined. Plans are designed. Wealth is built through consistent action. Chapter 7: Decision, the Mastery of Procrastination. There is one silent killer of success: One invisible enemy of wealth, progress, and personal power. It's not failure. It's not rejection. It's not lack of money. It's indecision. Napoleon Hill didn't mince words when he wrote. Analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly. Let that sink in. The rich decide quickly, and change their minds slowly. The unsuccessful? They hesitate, overthink, and then they do nothing. So let's start here. Why indecision is the enemy of success. Indecision is a form of fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of judgment. Fear of loss. But here's the truth. You cannot learn without deciding. You cannot grow without movement. Every minute you spend wavering is a minute lost in progress. You've likely heard the phrase, "Success loves speed." It's true. Not because you must rush, but because decisiveness creates momentum. When you're clear and committed, doors open, people respond, and your mind sharpens with focus. How the wealthy make decisions. Hill observed that successful people make decisions quickly, and rarely reverse them, unless new facts emerge. Why? Because wealthy minds trust themselves. They value speed, clarity, and courage over perfection. They know that no decision is permanent. You can always course correct. But what you can't recover is wasted time. They also know this. Indecision attracts influence. When you don't decide for yourself, the world decides for you. Society, peers, family, fear. They'll all fill the vacuum of uncertainty, unless you own your direction. So how do you develop decision-making power? It starts with confidence. But confidence comes from two places. 1. Trusting your instincts. 2. Doing your research. Trusting your instincts. Your intuition is real. It's not magic. It's experience, logic, and subconscious insight fused together. When something feels off, trust it. When something lights you up, pursue it. Often your gut knows before your brain can explain. The key is to listen, not stall. Pause. Reflect. Then move. Back it with research. Successful decisions are informed decisions. That means reading, asking, observing, testing. But don't fall into analysis paralysis. Set a time limit for research. Then act. Successful people gather just enough information to move, and then they move fast. Here's an example. Take Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. He uses a decision-making framework called regret minimization. He asks, if I don't do this, will I regret it in 10 years? That question gave him clarity. And with it, he left his stable Wall Street job to build an online bookstore out of his garage. It wasn't safe. It wasn't certain. But it was decisive. And it led to one of the greatest business empires in history. Your turn. Practice decisiveness. Here's a short exercise. Right now, think of one decision you've been avoiding. Maybe it's launching a project, applying for something, ending something, investing in yourself, making a bold request, saying yes or no. Now ask, what do I want to do? What am I afraid of? What's the worst that could happen, and how would I handle it? What will I regret if I wait too long? Then decide. Write it down. Take one step. Build that muscle. Because each decisive moment strengthens your identity as a leader, a doer, a person who moves forward. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to decide and adjust. Because wealth doesn't come from endless preparation. It comes from courageous movement. Chapter 8: Persistence. The sustained effort necessary for success. Napoleon Hill said it plainly. There is no substitute for persistence. It cannot be supplanted by any other quality. Desire sparks the fire. Faith fuels the vision. Decision initiates the journey. But persistence is what carries you through the storm. It's not the most talented who succeed. It's not the smartest. It's not even the most resourceful. It's the ones who refuse to give up. Why most people quit too soon? The truth is, most people give up right before they succeed. They quit when it gets uncomfortable, when results are slower than expected, when others don't believe, when they hit their first, or fifth, failure. Hill studied hundreds of wealthy individuals and found a common thread. Every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success, but only if you refuse to stop. Success isn't about never falling. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. Let that be your edge. Developing grit and emotional endurance. So how do you develop this thing called persistence? It's not willpower alone. It's a mindset, a habit, and a strategy. Here's how you build it. 1. Have a clear why. If your desire is weak, your persistence will be too. Know what you're fighting for. Make it personal. 2. Create a routine of action. Discipline beats motivation. When you show up every day, especially when you don't feel like it, you build the muscle of persistence. 3. Use feedback, not failure. Every setback is a signal. Learn from it. Adjust. Try again. Don't take it personally, take it constructively. 4. Visualize your future. See yourself already there. Taste the result. That emotional pull makes giving up feel like betrayal. 5. Surround yourself with believers. Community fuels resilience. Stay close to people who push you to keep going. Here's a powerful example from Hill's original research. A man invested in gold mining during the gold rush. He struck a promising vein, bought equipment, and went all in. But after a short while, the gold disappeared. He dug and dug, nothing. Frustrated, he gave up. He sold the machinery to a junkman, who hired an engineer to study the site. The result? They found gold just 3 feet from where the first man had stopped. 3 feet. He was that close, but he lacked persistence. And the fortune went to someone else. How to persist even when you're losing. What about when everything feels like it's going wrong? When money is tight? When no one's buying? When nothing's working? You persist anyway. Because persistence doesn't mean mindless repetition. It means staying committed while staying flexible. You may change your plan. You may shift your approach. You may rest, recalibrate, even cry. But you don't quit. Hill reminds us. Those who have cultivated the habit of persistence seem to enjoy insurance against failure. Persistence becomes your shield. Not because it makes the path easy, but because it keeps you on the path. Let me ask you, what have you given up on too soon in the past? What if you had stayed just a little longer? What could happen if you committed to not quitting this time? You already know the answer. Your dream might be 3 feet away. Your action plan. 1. Review your goal. Reconnect with your deepest why. 2. Identify where you're tempted to quit. Be honest. 3. Write down one step you'll take today, no matter how small. 4. Track your consistency. Momentum builds motivation. 5. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Showing up is the win. Persistence is power. It separates the dreamers from the achievers. So keep digging. Keep building. Keep moving, especially when it's hard. That's how riches are made. Chapter 9. The Mastermind, Power Through Collective Intelligence. 1 mind can create. 2 minds can multiply ideas. But a mastermind? A mastermind can transform the world. Napoleon Hill called it the mastermind principle. And it's not just a buzzword. It's the secret weapon of the world's wealthiest, most successful people. Why? Because no one succeeds alone. Surrounding yourself with the right minds. Think about this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are you learning from? Who are you collaborating with? Who are you listening to? If your circle consists of people who lift you, challenge you, and inspire you, you grow. But if your circle is filled with negativity, doubt, or complacency, you stagnate. The power of the mastermind is not about simply being surrounded by people, it's about choosing the right people. Hill explains that a mastermind is a group of individuals who come together to achieve a common goal, where the sum of their efforts creates more than what they could achieve individually. It's synergy. It's collective intelligence. And it's one of the most potent forces for personal and business success. Building your inner circle of influence. So how do you build this powerful mastermind group? How do you attract and align with the right people? 1. Identify your needs. What knowledge, skills, or support do you need most right now? Find individuals who complement your strengths and fill the gaps in your weaknesses. 2. Seek diversity of thought. A mastermind thrives when members bring different perspectives. Seek those who think differently than you, not to agree with you, but to challenge and expand your thinking. 3. Create a sense of mutual benefit. This isn't just about taking. You must offer value to others in your circle, whether that's through expertise, resources, or motivation. 4. Commit to consistent interaction. A mastermind is built on relationships. Regular meetings, ongoing communication, and a culture of support are critical. Stay committed to each other's success. 5. Maintain accountability. Hold yourself and others accountable to their actions. The right mastermind keeps you on track, pushing you to take bold action and make continuous progress. Let me give you an example of how the mastermind principle works in real life. In the early 20th century, a group of forward-thinking minds came together and formed what we now call the Edison Pioneers. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, and other great industrialists, these men were all giants in their fields. But here's the secret: they met regularly, shared ideas, and supported one another in their ventures. Each man had immense individual success, but it was their collaboration that turned the wheels of revolutionary industry. They weren't competing, they were elevating each other. And this powerful collaboration led to innovations that changed the world. Why collaboration often beats competition. Many people mistakenly believe that competition is the key to success. But Hill teaches us that collaboration is more powerful. Why? Because competition can breed fear and scarcity. But collaboration breeds innovation and abundance. When you collaborate with the right minds, you share resources, combine strengths, and leverage each other's expertise. In the world of business, when the right people come together to solve problems, make decisions, and strategize, the results are nothing short of extraordinary. The power of collective intelligence. Here's the key takeaway. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to do everything. But if you surround yourself with people who know more than you, people who are smarter, people who are more experienced, you create an unstoppable force. The mastermind concept is rooted in the intelligence of the group. Imagine being part of a group where ideas flow freely, solutions are abundant, and success is the common goal. The results? Limitless. Your action plan. Build your own mastermind. 1. Evaluate your current circle. Are they elevating you? Do they challenge you to grow? 2. Reach out to potential collaborators. Identify individuals who share your vision, have complementary skills, and are committed to mutual success. 3. Create a framework for communication. Decide on how often you'll meet, how you'll collaborate, and what the group's expectations will be. 4. Commit to growth together. Support each other's goals. Share knowledge, resources, and connections. Celebrate successes, and learn from failures. Remember, you're never alone when you have a mastermind at your side. Together you multiply your abilities, amplify your creativity, and expand your potential. The mastermind is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to think and grow rich, it's time to tap into the collective power of those around you. Because success, my friend, is never a solo journey. Chapter 10: The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. Napoleon Hill was bold in his approach to success, and he didn't shy away from exploring the mystery of sex transmutation. He called it one of the most powerful and often overlooked forces in the achievement of great success. What is sex transmutation? It's the art of transforming sexual energy into something far greater: creativity, ambition, and a drive for success. Hill believed that sexual energy is one of the most powerful forms of human energy, and when properly channeled, it could fuel great creativity and drive. It's a mystery because most people never realize the potential within this force. Transforming sexual energy into creative and productive energy. Sexual energy, in its essence, is simply a vital life force. It's energy that drives passion, connection, and the physical pursuit of life's greatest desires. But when you understand sex transmutation, you realize that this energy doesn't have to be confined to the physical realm alone. It can be redirected, transformed into creative and productive energy that can propel you toward your goals. Hill talks about how the greatest minds, those who achieved wealth and success, were often able to redirect their powerful sexual energy into creative visions and ideas. In other words, they were able to take that passion and use it to fuel their work, their innovation, and their dreams. Think of this like a battery. The energy is already within you. It just needs to be channeled and redirected toward your purpose. When you do this, something incredible happens. You'll find your drive, your creativity, and your ambition reach new heights. You won't feel tired or stuck. Instead, you'll feel inspired, motivated, and invigorated. Historical examples: inventors, artists, entrepreneurs. This isn't just theory. There are real-world examples of people who harness this power to achieve extraordinary things. Take, for example, Thomas Edison. The prolific inventor was known for his intense focus and nearly tireless work ethic. Hill notes that Edison, like many other successful men, was able to transmute his sexual energy into groundbreaking work that shaped the modern world. Albert Einstein, too, spent countless hours in intense focus and thought, driving revolutionary ideas that reshaped science. In the world of art, Pablo Picasso had a fiery passion for his craft. His intense creative drive was often fueled by his personal experiences and relationships, turning personal energy into creative genius. And in business, Henry Ford, who was also mentioned earlier in the Mastermind chapter, directed his energy and vision to create the assembly line, transforming not only the automotive industry but the global economy. These figures didn't operate in isolation, nor did they follow conventional paths. Their creative force was constantly transmuted into productive actions that changed the world. Balancing passion and purpose. It's important to understand, sex transmutation isn't about suppression or avoidance. It's about balance. Passion isn't a force to be feared, it's a natural and powerful drive. What Hill advises is that we learn to channel that passion in productive ways, balance it with purpose, and transform it into something greater. When sexual energy is channeled into creativity, ambition, and purpose, it helps you maintain momentum, sustain energy, and pursue your goals with intensity and focus. But purpose is key. You must have a clear vision of where you want to go, and a burning desire to achieve it. This isn't about blind ambition, it's about pursuing something that matters, something that will contribute to your personal growth, the welfare of others, and ultimately, the world. How to transmute your energy. Practical steps. How can you use this energy to fuel your success? 1. Recognize the energy within you. Pay attention to when you feel that rush of passion or drive. It's your energy asking for direction. 2. Set clear, powerful goals. Channel that energy towards something that matters, whether it's creating a new business, producing artwork, writing a book, or achieving a personal milestone. 3. Take massive action. Energy alone isn't enough. It's the application of that energy toward action that brings results. Harness your passions and direct them into productive work. 4. Use your energy to fuel focus. When you feel that intense drive, use it as an opportunity to dive deep into your work. Let it push you to higher levels of creativity and innovation. 5. Balance physical and mental energy. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Physical vitality can enhance mental and emotional energy, creating a perfect synergy that boosts productivity and creativity. When you master the art of sex transmutation, you unlock the power to channel your most intense energies into creativity, focus, and purposeful action. This principle is not just about transforming energy, it's about transforming your life. When you do this, you align yourself with a force that is as old as time, and as powerful as the mind itself. Chapter 11: The Subconscious Mind, the Gateway to Infinite Intelligence. The subconscious mind. It's the hidden engine behind every thought, every action, every decision you make. It's the gateway to infinite intelligence, as Napoleon Hill so powerfully calls it. But what is it exactly? And how does it work? The subconscious mind isn't just a passive storage unit. It's the control center of your life. How your subconscious stores your beliefs and directs your behavior. Your subconscious mind is like a giant filing cabinet. It stores every experience you've ever had, whether you were aware of it or not. It doesn't judge what's true or false, good or bad. It simply stores information based on your beliefs and experiences. This vast reservoir of information is powerful because it guides how you think, feel, and behave, often without you even realizing it. Your subconscious dictates your responses to situations, directs your habits, and even shapes your future. Feeding your subconscious positive inputs. If you want to unlock your potential, you must feed your subconscious mind with positive and empowering inputs. Why? Because, as Hill puts it, whatever you plant in your subconscious mind, and nourish with repetition and emotion, will one day become a reality. Here's the key. Your subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined. It reacts to the emotion and intensity of your thoughts, creating an internal blueprint that shapes how you perceive yourself and the world around you. This means, if you constantly think about failure, the subconscious will attract situations that reinforce that failure. But if you think about success, it will align you with opportunities that lead to success. Programming your subconscious mind for success. So how do you change what's stored in your subconscious? It's not about forceful effort, it's about reprogramming your mind by repetition, emotion, and intent. Hill suggests two powerful ways to do this: autosuggestion and visualization. By repeating affirmations and mentally picturing your success, you create a new reality for your subconscious mind. But the real magic happens when you engage both your mind and emotion. Emotion, after all, is the fuel that drives belief. When you visualize yourself living your dream, feeling the exhilaration of success, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth, and aligns your thoughts, actions, and decisions accordingly. Nightly rituals for subconscious programming. One of the most powerful ways to program your subconscious is to work with it while you sleep. Yes, you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind at night, when your conscious mind is less active. Hill suggests a simple but profound ritual. Before sleep, write down your goal or affirmation. Then, repeat it aloud or in your mind while deeply feeling the emotion behind it. In those moments just before sleep, your subconscious mind is most susceptible to suggestions. This nightly practice, when done consistently, begins to replace negative programming with positive, success-oriented beliefs. A simple subconscious programming ritual. Here's a simple and effective ritual you can begin tonight. 1. Write down your goal or affirmation. Be specific. What is it that you truly desire? Write it down as if you've already achieved it. 2. Feel the emotion behind your goal. Imagine the joy, the pride, the gratitude. Feel it in your heart. This is vital, because your subconscious responds to emotion. 3. Repeat it before sleep. Close your eyes, and repeat your affirmations slowly, clearly, and with intention. Don't rush through it, let it sink in. 4. Let it go. As you drift off to sleep, trust that your subconscious mind will begin to work on manifesting your desire. It will find ways to align your actions with your goals. It's that simple. By making this a nightly practice, you're gradually shifting your belief system, reinforcing the vision of your success, and preparing yourself for the opportunities ahead. The power of subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't care about the how or the when. Its job is simply to create what you consistently feed it. That's why Hill encourages you to think big, believe in your vision, and to never stop programming your mind for success. When you master your subconscious, you tap into the infinite intelligence that Hill speaks of, the boundless source of creativity, innovation, and opportunity that is always available to you. The subconscious mind is always working, always creating. Are you feeding it the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that will lead you to success? When you harness its power, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Your future, your success, and your riches are already within you, waiting to be unlocked by the power of your own mind. Chapter 12: Fear, the greatest obstacle to riches. Fear is a silent thief. It sneaks in, often without us even realizing, and robs us of the one thing that could transform our lives: action. Napoleon Hill called fear the greatest enemy of success. It paralyzes decision, restricts progress, and can even halt our dreams in their tracks. But fear isn't just a single, abstract force, it's a combination of 6 basic fears that hold us back. Understanding them is the first step toward conquering them. The 6 basic fears and how to overcome them. Hill identifies 6 basic fears that affect everyone, to varying degrees. These fears, if left unchecked, can prevent you from achieving success and wealth. 1. The fear of poverty. This is the fear of not having enough, the fear that you won't be able to pay your bills, support your family, or live the life you want. To overcome this fear, Hill suggests developing a definite plan for achieving financial security. Knowing where you're headed, and taking consistent action toward your goals, will help calm this fear. 2. The fear of criticism. The fear of being judged or ridiculed by others can keep you from taking risks, speaking your mind, or pursuing your dreams. The antidote? Self-confidence and a clear sense of purpose. When you are secure in your vision and your mission, other people's opinions become irrelevant. 3. The fear of ill health. This is the fear of becoming sick, of losing your vitality and energy. To combat this fear, it's essential to develop healthy habits, eating well, exercising, and maintaining a positive mental attitude. 4. The fear of loss of love. The fear that we will lose the love and affection of those close to us can make us act out of insecurity or desperation. The cure is self-love and emotional independence. When you are whole within yourself, you are not dependent on others for your sense of worth. 5. The fear of old age. The fear that time is running out and that we will lose our ability to create wealth or experience life's pleasures as we grow older. The solution? Continuous learning, setting new goals, and staying adaptable to change. As long as you stay mentally and physically active, age will not stop you from succeeding. 6. The fear of death. The ultimate fear, the fear of our own mortality. It's the fear that paralyzes our ability to fully live and take chances. The key to overcoming this fear is to embrace life fully, knowing that while death is inevitable, what we do with our time on this earth is what truly matters. Why fear paralyzes decision and action. Hill writes that fear is the most crippling force in human life. Why? Because fear stops us from acting. It paralyzes our decision-making, halts our progress, and robs us of the momentum we need to succeed. When you feel fear, it triggers a fight-or-flight response in your brain. This response was helpful to our ancestors when they were faced with physical danger. But today, fear often arises in situations where there's no actual danger, like starting a business or pursuing a passion. Fear of failure keeps you from trying. Fear of criticism prevents you from speaking up. Fear of the unknown stops you from moving forward. All of these fears create a mental block, a barrier between you and the success you desire. Daily practices to cultivate courage and emotional control. The good news is that fear can be defeated. You don't have to live in fear. You can develop the courage to move past it and take the actions that will lead you to success. Hill suggests daily practices to build emotional control and courage. 1. Face your fears. The first step to overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. Name it, identify it, and understand it. When you face your fears head-on, you take away their power. 2. Use autosuggestion. Hill encourages using affirmations to counteract fear. By repeating positive thoughts such as, "I am confident and capable," You can change the way you feel and think about fear. 3. Visualize success. Instead of imagining failure, practice visualizing yourself succeeding. Picture yourself overcoming obstacles, taking decisive actions, and achieving your goals. 4. Take small actions. The best way to fight fear is through action. Start small, take one small step toward your goal each day. With every action, your confidence grows, and fear loses its grip on you. 5. Surround yourself with positive influences. Fear thrives in isolation. When you surround yourself with positive, supportive people, their energy and mindset will help dissolve your fears and replace them with confidence. 6. Practice gratitude. Fear can make us focus on what we don't have. Gratitude shifts our focus to what we do have. By counting your blessings and focusing on your abundance, you develop a mindset of strength. Overcoming fear is the key to success. Fear doesn't have to control you. It's only as powerful as you allow it to be. By acknowledging your fears, feeding your mind with positive thoughts, and taking consistent action, you'll replace fear with courage and confidence. Remember, your dreams are greater than your fears. And the only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to act despite fear. Conclusion: think rich, act rich, live rich. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the core principles that have guided us throughout. We've learned that wealth starts in the mind. That's where it all begins. Every success, every victory, every dream realized starts with a single thought. You are not just capable of becoming rich, you are destined to think rich, act rich, and live rich. Summarizing the core principles. To think rich is to master your mindset. It's understanding that your thoughts have the power to shape your reality. When you consciously choose positive, focused thoughts, you align your brain with opportunities, creativity, and success. To act rich is to take consistent action on those thoughts. Wealth doesn't come from wishing, it comes from doing. Every day, you must be intentional with your decisions and actions. When you act with confidence and purpose, success follows. To live rich is to experience the abundance that comes when you've trained your mind and taken bold action. Living rich is about more than just money. It's about living a life of freedom, fulfillment, and purpose. When you think and act rich, wealth will naturally flow into your life, but so will happiness, health, and joy. Action steps and a 30-day challenge. Now that you've gained these powerful principles, it's time to put them into practice. Here's your 30-day challenge to start transforming your life. 1. Write down your most important goal, the one thing you want to achieve more than anything. Make it specific and clear. 2. Create a daily plan of action that aligns with your goal. Break it down into small, actionable steps and commit to taking at least one step toward your goal every single day. 3. Affirm your success each morning and evening. Use positive affirmations to program your subconscious mind with success-oriented thoughts. 4. Visualize your success every day. Picture yourself living the life you desire. See it, feel it, believe it. 5. Surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out people who inspire and motivate you, and avoid negativity at all costs. 6. Track your progress. At the end of 30 days, review what you've achieved. Celebrate your victories, and adjust your approach for even greater success. Final words: your mind is your most valuable asset. Remember this, above all else, your mind is your most valuable asset. The wealth you seek, the success you dream of, it all starts in your thoughts. When you master your mind, you master your destiny. You have the power to create anything you desire. The universe is full of opportunities, but it's up to you to recognize them, take action, and persist through the challenges. As you continue on your journey to wealth and success, keep this truth in mind. You are the creator of your future. Think rich. Act rich. Live rich. If you've found this journey inspiring, please share this with others. Your growth and success can inspire those around you to create their own. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to keep receiving more motivational and practical wisdom to keep you on the path to wealth. Thank you for listening to Think Rich, Act Rich, Live Rich. Now, go out there and create the life you deserve.